Are you there, God? It's me, Margaret.
All right, I was not expecting this movie to potentially be my favorite movie of the year so far. Are you there, God? It's me, Margaret. It kind of swooped in out of nowhere, and it stole the show for me. As this is a non-spoiler review, I will be posting a second video discussing spoilers in detail in another video, so stay tuned for that. I had such a different experience with this film. It felt almost like a retelling of my own childhood. Every single character action, every struggle, every decision in this movie, it's something that I faced in my life. Not personally, because a lot of it has to do with women growing up and experiencing puberty. Of course, I didn't experience any of that. I did experience puberty, just not on that side of the river. But I essentially attached myself to this character, Margaret, and her character and everyone else in this movie. They were so just fleshed out in a beautiful, beautiful, stunning array of just writing, the way that the actors brought the characters to life. It just feels so real and natural. Now, clearly, by the title, this movie has to deal with religion, which is something I'm not personally all that familiar with because I don't really practice any religion. I'm not against anything. I just don't really have my place. And so going into this movie, that was one of my worries is, oh, it's gonna preach some kind of religious beliefs. But this movie, especially with the character of Margaret experiencing everything she experiences, I understood everything the movie was saying. Not knowing where your place is, whether it's in religion or your family or your friend group, just not really having your own set place, whereas everyone else you see, you assume that they all have their set place, and in some cases, it's true. For instance, some people know what religion they are because they were born into a family that practices X religion. And as someone who struggled to find their place, and even up till now, not knowing my place, I could just personally connect with this movie. What a fantastic time. It is a emotional roller coaster, coming of age story, just wrapped up into this little emotional ball that made me cry. The movie made me cry. This was a very sentimental time for me at the movie theater, which is why I also understand that a lot of people may not be in agreement with me on this movie. A little bit about me. The reason I am not practicing any religion or don't really follow any religious beliefs all too much is because on my, let's say my donor's side of the family, my grandmother on that side of the family condemned me to hell. I didn't really have a choice in her reasoning as to why that happened. But basically it's because if people don't get married and they have a kid, that kid doesn't really get the chance to go to heaven. And as someone who is condemned to hell by his own family, and seeing how the world plays out based on these religious beliefs and attacks and just lots of anger and fights and war, it's just religion to me, it's just something that doesn't play a key factor in my life. It's not something I personally care about, but the way this movie tackles religion, it fits right in with all of my beliefs on how I feel, how I'm scared of it, how I don't understand it, but at the same time, I'm accepting of everyone, no matter what they believe. Anyways, that's just a small little detail on how I view religion and why the movie resonated with me on such a deep and emotional level, because I felt like no one really actually understood me. And so after walking out of the movie and reflecting on it, it really feels like there are people out there who understand how I feel and where I'm coming from. Everyone in this movie is written so naturally. The dialogue feels so real and raw, like I'm actually experiencing this family argument. And it's a little awkward. I'm in the room watching this unfold, or even if it's something silly and happy and like, oh, this is happening, ha ha ha. You're like, even in those conversations, I'm not taken out of the movie. I absolutely feel like a fly on the wall. Like I get to experience this from a new perspective. And that's so refreshing to see in movies. Rachel McAdams, her character, Barbara Simon, had an emotional story about religion and finding her place and what she had to do. It was just so raw. You didn't see it happen, but the way it was expressed, the way it was told in dialogue, you 100% believe it, because you can see this kind of situation happen not only back then in the era this movie was portrayed in, but you can see it today. You hear about it a lot. I won't spoil the conversation that these characters have here, but I do need to say it is very emotional to the point to where I cried at that part as well. That's why I cannot wait to talk about this movie in a spoiler discussion, because there's just so much I can say about this movie that I can't say here because I can't spoil the film for you. It's a fun time. It's fantastic. Even if you aren't the demographic this movie is aiming for, you're not a little girl experiencing puberty, anyone can go into this film and appreciate it for what it is. My only issue with the film is the ending not really having an ending. It does have an ending, but in a way that wraps up a subplot, and it has a payoff to that, which, you know, something I also appreciate in filmmaking is setup and payoff. But the payoff to this subplot puts a little nice ribbon on top of the whole movie, and it also rounds out Margaret's character, kind of caps off her end of the story. Not so much as everyone else, but her, yes. That's gonna go ahead and do it for my review of Are You There, God? It's me, Margaret. Obviously, I enjoyed the movie. If you guys have seen it, let me know what you think. If you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like, a comment down below. All the engagement helps. We are currently trying to get our YouTube engagement up, our watch time up. So if you guys want to help out the channel, hit subscribe if you're new here. We film movie reviews every single week. We talk movies pretty ongoing, I would say. All the YouTube jargon out of the way. My name's Austin, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take care.
If you want to be in the club, then you have to wear a bra.
Oh. You think you need one?